So I set out to enter North Korea with about 404 spiritual lost tracks. I purchased the tracks from the Life bookstore in Seoul and headed for North Korea. I was able to carry the tracks into the country without getting caught, but the prospect of handing them out seemed impossible because I needed to show and explain the tracks. But the situation did not allow for that. It's the same way today, but back then, it was far more difficult. I desperately thought about what to do, but was unable to come up with a solution. And finally, the day arrived to leave for Pyongyang came. I expected to leave by plane where I could just load my bags without suspicion. But instead, I was told that we'd leave by train. My heart began to race. And our train travel ride to Siniju, the guide followed me around like a shadow. And at this rate, when I reached Siniju, I would go through the bag checks and they would find the tracks. And I would be in big, big trouble. Not knowing what to do, I said, I think something was wrong with the food I ate. My stomach is starting to ache. Seeing the look of desperation on my face, the guide allowed me to go to the bathroom. And when I got to the bathroom, I was surprised because the toilet was simply a hole in the floor. I had an idea. Upon returning to my seat, I asked the guide for some stomach medicine, and while he left to get me the medicine, I grabbed all the tracks from my bag and ran into the bathroom and proceeded to dispose of all the tracks through the hole. In the years that followed, I forgot all about the incident. And one day, as I was leaving after speaking at a North Korea mission seminar, a young defector who had spoken earlier approached me and blurted out, I guess you pull that kind of stunt because you're a pastor. I felt a little upset a young man would speak to me that way. But what he said next caught me by surprise. Pastor, the day you left Pyongyang by train to Sinju was May 29, 1989, right? He somehow knew the exact date of my train ride. Bewildered, I asked, how could you possibly know that? Even the South Koreans, they don't know about this. Upon hearing this, the young man replied, I know because that day while I was laboring next to the train tracks, I saw something fly out of the train as it passed by. The young man, after the train had passed by, made his way down the hill, picked up the track. It had smudges of fecal matter, and he wiped them off on the grass and sand and read the track, and then made his way to the Yalu River. And when he saw his chance, he made his way out of North Korea. Upon hearing the story, I was surprised but also deeply moved. The man who had read the track and escaped had become a pastor. I had thrown away the tracks to save my own skin, but God used them for His own purpose, leading one man to escape North Korea and become His instrument. The North Koreans who remain in the land, those who haven't been given the chance to hear the gospel, what do they need? Do we really understand God's methods? And furthermore, how well do we understand their earnest desire for the truth and to make it their own? This is a cause for deep reflection.